because I always forget. So this is your macros 101 part 2 for shred into spring. I have a couple of things I'm going to go over. We're going to talk about alcohol. We're going to talk about getting in proteins. We have one more meeting, and that's on Saturday afternoon, and that will be just a Q&A. But there was a bunch of things that I wanted to make sure I talked about tonight. So I have a list. I invited people from the current Shred Tribe to join in as well. Our normal meeting is on Wednesday night, 7:15. We have about 3 minutes and then we're going to get started. Until I just replied back to your message, by the way. So I probably won't keep you guys on here for 35, 40 minutes like I did last night. I might, but I don't think I will. I'm going to try not to go off on tangents and just boom, boom, boom. All right, let's see, it's 7:19. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So we did a lot yesterday. We talked about a lot. I'm not doing a review because then I could sit there and just talk forever. I do need to put on some kind of glasses or I'm not gonna be able to see my notes. These aren't my favorite, but they'll do. All right. So I want to talk about a few things. First thing is, let's talk about your numbers. I know everybody was kind of overwhelmed after our meeting yesterday, thinking, oh my God, I got to eat all this food. So just everybody to take a deep breath. You will eventually hit all your numbers. Not a big deal. You're not going to get it today or tomorrow, the next day. What I want you guys to think about is, are you hitting your macros eventually within the 10 grams over under I'm going to allow for protein, carbs, and fats for the first couple of weeks. Then we'll pull it back a little bit more for your fats. Are you doing enough cardio versus strength training? If you're only doing cardio, you're not going to lose body fat. So there has to be some kind of strength training in there, whether it's resistance bands, whether you're going to a gym and taking like a body works class or a body sculpt or booty works or something. If you're going to Orange Theory, one of those. But you can't just be a cardio bunny. You can't just get on the treadmill for hours at a time or just go for a walk after a while. In the beginning, yes, you can totally be sedentary because I have your number set for that. But if you want to see progress as we continue, you're going to have to change up your habits fitness-wise as well. Are you drinking your water? And are you staying engaged in the tribe and either attending or watching the tribe recordings? And I'm going to keep repeating these because these are the things that are going to make you stay committed and help you see progress. And the last one is, are you adding your alcohol correctly? And I have that in there because whether you drink a lot or drink a little or drink once a week or once a month, alcohol is tracked a little different than anything else. So that's going to be our first topic, and it's going to be alcohol. So when you track alcohol, you'll see ads, protein beer, protein this, only has 100 calories. What are those? Not Blue Moons, High Noons and True whatever and all those things. It's all bullshit. The FDA doesn't require alcohol companies to put their true macros on their their containers. So what you're going to do is any alcohol, you're going to take whatever the calories are. It could be a high noon, it could be a glass of wine, it could be vodka, and it all takes care of the same way. So if you have 100 calories for a high noon, which I think that's what they are, and you want to use carbs or fats because there's no protein in alcohol, you decide, do I want to use carbs? Do I want to use fats? Maybe I want to use both. And you can do that. So the calculation is, I'm going to use my calculator. I have 100 calories for my high noon. I want to use carbs. Well, there's 4 calories for every carb. So I'm going to take my 100 calories and I'm going to divide it by 4. And when I enter it in my food log, I am using 25 carbs for 1 can of high noon. If it's worth it to you, go for it. 25 carbs is a lot of carbs to give up for 1 little can of something, right? If you're having a glass of wine, let's say it's 70 calories. Mike, how much is a glass of wine? How many calories for a glass of wine? 90 calories for a glass of wine. So you're going to take 90 calories divided by 4. That's 22 and a half carbs for 1 glass of wine. How many of you can drink more than 1 glass of wine? Majority of us, right? Absolutely. No doubt. It goes down like water half the time, right? So be mindful of that. Now, if you want to use fats, you would divide it by 9. And you have to manually enter the alcohol. You cannot scan alcohol because alcohol will lie. It will tell you it has proteins. It won't even put the carbs in there. So you have to do it manually. If you are not tracking your alcohol correctly, you will sabotage yourself. So if you are that person that needs to know exactly how to do it, message me on the outside. I don't like to stay too much on the topic. There's also a group called Alcohol. And I'm pretty sure. So I haven't added you guys in yet, but it has like different calories and I have the calculation there. So I'm going to be adding you guys all to the alcohol group tonight. And then you guys can look through that. So that's there for you guys. Someone asked me if I have sample meal plans. There is a group called Sample Meal Plans. Everybody's already in there. So you guys should see that group. If you scroll up to the top, keep going, you're going to see 1,200 calorie plan, 1,400 calorie, 1,600, and 1,800. I built those for you guys just to get an idea of what you could possibly eat. Each one of these, if you download it, you can see different foods. And I put next to it what the proteins are, what the carbs are, what the fats are. They're there at your fingertips. What if I want 6 ounces of grilled and ready chicken breast strips? Oh, there's 42 proteins. There's 2 carbs. There's 5 fats. It's already on these sheets for you guys, and they're great for you to think of different things to eat. And if you scroll down a little bit more, I took a picture of what I eat every single day. This is my food log. And you'll see breakfast. You'll see lunch. You'll see dinner. It's all there for you guys to see. If I switch it up, I showed you 2 different days. So it gives you an idea, because everybody asks for samples of meals and plans. And it'll help you out trying to figure out different foods and stuff. So, and then there's a list of great pre-workout snacks that I put in there. And then I have more food options. I took pictures of me going food shopping. If you guys have not looked at this, those are my daily food packs that I put in my bag. So there's a lot of information under the sample meal plans. Remember I talked about how I eat a ton of sweet potato fries? This is like my plate every night. This will be tonight. Tonight I'm having at Costco, they have fish in their frozen section, and it's not breaded. It's like Parmesan custard or something. And I will eat 1.5 of those and 13 sweet potato fries. And it's okay. I logged it. We're good to go. Okay. So what's really important is consuming enough protein. in your daily budget that I gave you guys, and we can't skim on those. Those are the things that are the building blocks for your body. We use it to repair damaged muscle and to build new muscle. Even if you don't work out, you are damaging your muscle on a daily basis. Reaching up to grab something, walking on your quads, not on your quads, but walking on your legs, using your quads. That is breaking down muscle. You need protein to repair that. Protein acts as a natural synthesizer for carbs. So when you eat carbs, if you eat it with protein, it will break the carbs down so much faster. Your body won't absorb it as quickly. A general rule is usually 1 pound per body weight, depending on how much weight or how quickly one want to drop the body fat. So if you guys tell me, well, someone told me because I'm 200 pounds, I should only be eating 150 grams of protein, they're full of shit and they don't know anything about nutrition. You guys know I have no filter. So Santos is like, I know. I've been in this program. I know. Santo has been in this program. He's kicking butt. His wife's in the program. His daughter is in the program. She's kicking butt. They're all doing amazing. His daughter brought them in. He brought his wife in. It's like a train. So high quality protein, I want you guys to start thinking about it. Beef, poultry, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. I personally don't eat red meat. So when people say to me, I can't do your program, I don't eat meat, well, that's just an excuse. Anybody could do my program. I have vegans on my program. I have vegetarians on my program. If you can eat protein, you can be on my program. Everybody can eat protein. Now, if you've had lap band or you have had gastro bypass, you're not going to eat as much. But that's accounted for already. If you're struggling with not having an appetite and you put this big meal in front of you, start eating smaller meals. Even if you told me you only want 2 to 3, and that's how I calculated it, your calculation is not going to change if you eat 8 meals. I will tell you though, eating smaller meals will not fill you up. It will keep you longing for the next small meal. But everybody is different. So for me, I don't start eating until 11 o'clock not because I intermittent fast, because I don't get done with coaching classes until that time. But at that time, I eat everything. Whatever you see in my food log that says breakfast, I literally sit for an hour and just eat. So for me, it works for me just to have 2 to 3 big meals. But then on a Saturday and Sunday, I might not do the same thing. So whatever works for you, you're not married to one type of food program, how you're going to eat, whatever works for you. But eating smaller and more frequent meals will help you struggle if you don't have an appetite, because it'll leave you longing for more food. Kind of what you want. I always tell this story. I eat out of a big bowl usually. It's a big plastic Tupperware bowl. I put all my food in there. I use a bag of broccoli every night, chicken, fish, whatever it is, rice or sweet potatoes. And when I first started doing this many, 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 many years ago, I would sit and cry because I had so much food to eat. And of course, we all have mentors, right? So at the time I had a mentor and she would always tell me, you have to eat it all. You have to eat it all. And I would literally tears. And I was married at the time and my husband would say, why are you doing this to yourself? And I said, because I do not want to be 240 pounds. I know if I eat, I'm going to lose the weight and I need to do this. So I called her crying and she said, get up from the table, walk away, read your mail, do a plank, do a couple of squats, do your laundry, empty the dishwasher, fill the dishwasher, talk to your pets, do something to take your mind off it and then go back and finish it. No one says you have to finish your meal in one sitting. Not written anywhere. Our parents may have ingrained that in our heads. You're not getting up from the table until you're done. But that's not true. Your body does not know, oh, Roberta just sat down and now she only has 30 minutes to eat. And if she doesn't finish it, she has to sit here till she's done. It's not like that. You can get up, walk outside, come back in and take a couple of bites. As long as you finish it, you're good. Because those numbers need to be met. Measure, do not guess. I have a link to a scale that's like $9 or $10 on Amazon. You'll have it tomorrow. You'll have it the next day. You don't have to use a scale forever. but you need it to learn to know what things look like now. We talked about the hand thing yesterday. A lot of people, including myself, have a misconception of what things look like. Oh, that looks like it's about 5 ounces. And then they look and it's like 9, or it's 1 or 2. So it's really important to weigh your food at least the first 8-week session, so you have an idea of what things look like. And that will help you. If you watched Food in My Kitchen, I give you tricks. When you go to Publix, go to the deli section, ask them for 2 pounds of ever roasted chicken breast, but I would like a piece of paper in between every 6 ounces. You don't even have to weigh your food then. Already done. I do it every week. Do not do it on a Sunday. They will hate you. Go during the week when it's not so busy. They have no problem putting paper in for you. Sometimes I'll do it 4 ounces or 5 ounces, and then just add a slice or 2 if I need to. But I was doing it for 6, and then I realized I didn't need 6 ounces when I was making my wrap, so I'll pull one out, but then I would eat it later on, so it didn't matter. But another trick is when you buy a whole container of like strawberries, it's already measured out for you. Just divide it equally. It'll help you. All these things, the sweet potato fries, I don't have to measure it. It says 1 serving is 13 pieces. 1 rice cake weighs this or costs you this in your budget. Use that, use that to help you. Scan as much as you freaking can. If you see a barcode, scan it unless it's alcohol. Try to prep your food. Always, always, always. Sundays is my prep day. I do 18 eggs in hot water every Sunday. Then I take all of them, I peel them all. I take the yolk out of all of them, only because I like to eat my fat with my yogurt and my cottage cheese and my peanut butter and other things. So I don't want to use it for my yolk. So I take out the yolk. And then I take 4 hard-boiled eggs, cut them in half and put them in my containers. Grab it and go. I count my 20 Cheerios or however many Cheerios I'm allowed to have that day. I put them in baggies. I separate out all my fruit. I cut up all my cucumbers. I separate them out. I do it on a day that you have the time. If you don't have the time in one day, make the time. You don't have to do everything. Just do things that you know you can grab and go. Like I said, I leave at 3:30 in the morning. I literally just walked in the door. So I haven't been home in 15 hours, 16, 17, 17 or 18 hours. So I have to take a cooler with me every day. If I were to get up at 3:30 in the morning and have to start figuring out what I'm going to eat for the day, I would be so stressed out. So I do it on Sunday. Like tonight, I'll have it all ready in the refrigerator, grab my lunch box, put all my ice packs in it, put everything in there. So when I leave tomorrow morning, I know I'm good to go. Because that's my life Monday through Friday. I leave at 3:30. I do not walk in the door until after 7:30 at night. 7-ish. So you have to prepare. You'll notice the things that you're doing will make huge changes in your lifestyle and your habits that you can take with you. If you need to, add liquid supplements, add protein shakes that are easy to grab and go. Core protein shakes are amazing. Premier protein shakes are fantastic from Costco. Whatever works for you, if that works for you, I do drink 1 pre-made protein shake a day. Unless I get to come home for some strange reason, then I will use my little blender and I'll make my own protein powder. And Body Fortress is my favorite protein powder ever. It's super inexpensive. It's whey, but it doesn't make you gassy for some reason. And it's peanut butter chocolate and it tastes so good. The link for that is in the Amazon group, and I tagged everybody in that group today. And there's a link in there for it. A trick for protein, if you are not taking collagen is powder, is protein that you could just slip in wherever you need to. So every morning I fill this up with water. I put my electrolytes in there and I take 2 scoops of my protein collagen. I think the link is in that group for that also. I use Vital Collagen. I'm getting over 20 grams of protein in my water, and it's flavorless and it's colorless and it's straight up protein. And you just put it in your water. I shake it up and I'm good to go. Make sure that you guys are prioritizing you. Nutrition, fitness, getting in your steps, drinking your water. If you're not your priority, no one's going to make you their priority. If you don't tell people, wait, I just need 5 minutes to fill my water bottle, or I'm good, I don't need to eat those nachos because I'm my own priority, or I'm only gonna have 2 nachos because I'm my own priority, then you're not putting yourself first. You're trying to please other people. And we have so many meetings that we're going to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that today. Okay. So I want to talk about a couple of things that will help you in your house to prepare. Put snack food away in less accessible cupboards, out of sight, out of mind. You guys will hear me tell so many personal stories, but I always have Mike hide things for me. If someone brings something in the house, or if he happens to buy something that's not good because he's not on my program, I always say, can you hide it for me? Because I don't have the willpower. I am 100% honest. He brought home these things from Costco, chocolate peanut butter cups, but they're supposed to be healthy. Yeah, healthy if you have one every other day or something. But if I eat one, I'm eating 5. And they're not wrapped, which makes it even more challenging. So he said, oh, did you try the peanut butter cups I bought? And I said, no, because if I eat one, I'm going to want 3 or 5. And then I had one over the weekend. I said, now you have to hide it. Because if I know they're there, every time I walk past that pantry, they're going to call my name. So he hides it. Remove easy snacking items. Candy dishes and bowls of nuts are not for you. You say they're for your friends. I'll leave them out for them. I put it on my desk at work just so everybody can have some. That's bullshit. I used to do it too. Oh, I'm buying these for my kids. Your kids wouldn't even know if you bought them or not. Oh, my kids love this Halloween candy. Why? They're getting candy from everywhere else. I buy the shit candy that if it's left over, that's what's at the house. And whatever I know is good is what I give out. But if there's leftover, then I go to the shit candy if there's people coming late at night or whatever. But I do not buy all the yummy stuff. Don't keep trigger foods in the house. Take away temptation. If you're in this program, it's more likely that your children don't need the shit food either. Teach them better habits. I tried to impose that in my home with Mike, but it doesn't always work. Okay. Always have a few meals and protein options pre-made and ready to go that will keep you away from takeout or TV dinners. I always have eggs ready to go, obviously. But there's things that are easy. Like I don't have a problem with, I hate to call TV dinners because they're not the old school TV dinners with the metal trays with the brownie in it anymore. But I do buy the Healthy Choice steamers and I just add protein to it because there's not enough protein in those meals. But I keep at least 4 in my house every single week. I go on Sunday and I keep them in the house. Because if I'm exhausted and I'm getting home right now and I do not feel like pulling out the air fryer and Mike is eating pizza tonight and I'm not, then I'm going to have one of those. And then I always buy the bag of chicken strips so I can put extra chicken in it so I don't have to cook. So there's always options. Stock your stock your kitchen with varieties of lean protein sources, veggies, whole grains, and fruits. You saw the cheat sheets. You watched my food in the kitchen. I keep 3 different types of yogurt in my refrigerator. 20 grams, 15 grams, and I think it's 10. And each one of those proteins also has different fat ratios and carb ratios. And that's because if one day I don't need 20, I only need 10, or I might need less fats, I'll go with the higher protein so that you have options. People say, well, what condiments do you use? I use relish, dill relish for everything. I put that in my, my sandwich wraps instead of mayo or anything like that. I'll put some mustard, some relish in it, wrap it up. It's amazing. I put relish on everything. Hot sauce is a great condiment. You can have barbecue sauce. You can have ketchup. Just put it in your log. There are no restrictions. I know I say this over and over again, but there are no restrictions. Please don't message me and say, I'm going to Flanagan's. What am I allowed to eat? You're allowed to eat whatever you want to eat as long as you have it in your daily budget. Did anybody do the homework I assigned last night? Just writing down food you like to eat on a daily basis that are staples? Great. Yes, you did? Okay. I like hands. This way I know. Anyone else? No, you didn't. Okay. So that was your homework. So you guys have another whole week to get homeworks done. Don't worry about it. Practice mindful eating. Unplug while you're eating. How many of you are on your phone while you're eating? How many of you are on your iPad while you're eating? How many of you are watching TV while you're eating? Stop that habit. It is so bad. Such a bad habit. I do it too, and I try to stop myself from doing it. We don't even have a TV on when we're eating dinner. We only have technically one TV in our house. That's not true. We have one in the gym, one downstairs, and we have one outside on our patio. But we don't have any in bedrooms. So be mindful of what you're doing. Practice mindful eating, and that will help you get your food down too. Because you know what you're eating, you're chewing your food. Don't jump in and try to do everything all at once. You will get overwhelmed. And I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. You have 8 weeks to get this. More than likely, you'll stay back on. You'll come back on. Okay. You guys need to plan ahead. I use my crock pot to bulk meals. Turkey chili is amazing if you put it in your crock pot. I added you to my recipe group. I added you to my recipe book. I have recipe books. I added you to that group. If you take ground chicken and put it in a crock pot and you put salsa and black beans, it is amazing. And when you're done with it, when it's cooked, you could put a little bit of grated cheese on it, put it over some rice, and you can keep that for 3 days and eat it a couple of times. I'm that person. I can eat the same thing every single day. It doesn't matter to me. But you need to find your staples that work for you. Starting tomorrow, we're going to start asking you guys if you need me to review whatever you have logged. You don't have to have the full day logged. We're just starting. Whatever you log in your app, I'm going to say at 2:30 tomorrow, does anyone need me to review their log? Are you ready for me to review your log? Okay, so the next thing I said I'm going to talk about is just ways to get your protein in, since it is the most challenging. And I'm going to run through these really fast because I did say I wouldn't keep you on for 40 minutes, and now we're almost at 30. Plan out your week with more protein foods. If you're the person that doesn't have protein for breakfast in the morning, flip the switch. Have a protein shake on your way to work. Switch it with your coffee. Have coffee, have a protein shake. Have iced coffee and make that with your protein powder. Depends on what your day looks like. Sometimes if I know I'm gonna have a crazy day, and it's a Saturday and I'm on my way to Orange Theory and it's 7 in the morning, I'll eat my egg whites, my hard-boiled eggs. Hold on, I'm just letting somebody in. Okay. So make sure when you go shopping, hold on, I'm running out of time. I just got my notice. Make sure when you go shopping, you have your meat, you have your chicken breast, you have your fish, you have your cheese, you have your yogurt, you have your cottage cheeses, tuna pouches, chicken pouches, those chicken salad pouches, the tuna salad pouches, those are great. And they're scannable. And you can have 2 of those usually at a meal. There's really not that much protein in one pouch. Have your protein supplements ready, protein powders, collagen we talked about. Your bone broth is amazing. You can make soup with bone broth instead of regular chicken broth. Bone broth is protein. And they taste great. We use it at the house all the time. Combine your proteins, right? We talked about that. Putting your collagen in your protein shake, putting your collagen in your water, especially if you have the taste-free, you shouldn't say tasteless, taste-free collagen powder. At mealtime, eat your protein first. I know all the other things are so yummy and you want to really just eat them first, but that's going to stop you from wanting to eat your protein. And the protein we talked about is the most important thing. So eat a lot of protein, have some carbs. Eat a lot of protein, have some fats. Eventually, your protein will be gone. You might have carbs and fats left, but because we like that, we'll eat it. But because we don't like the protein as much, and if we save that for the end, we're going to be like, I'm done. Prime example, every single day I eat my mush. I eat my cottage cheese and pineapple, and I eat a yogurt. Every day I eat my mush because it's my favorite. Then I eat the cottage cheese because it has the pineapple, and then I have to eat my yogurt. And for like a week, I was like gagging eating that yogurt. So on Thursday, I said, you know what? I got to eat my yogurt first. Because then I don't gag on it. I'm starving. I eat it regardless. And yogurt, I love yogurt. It's just when you eat the same thing every day for years in the same order, it kind of gets monotonous. So I've been eating my yogurt every day since Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, today. Today, when I went and took my yogurt, I was like, oh, I really want this. And then I ate everything, and it didn't hurt me because I was like, I put myself in that new pattern, that new mindset. Make sure at every meal you are getting your protein, that adequate protein. Remember we talked about that, 6 to 8 ounces. 25% of your daily protein should be at every meal. Try to get some protein in before your workouts. If you're not always hungry for protein during your meals, try to do it before your workouts. Try to do it before dinner. Before you go to bed. You can have protein shake before you go to bed at night. Your body doesn't know what time it is. So if you're eating something that's good for your body, it's going to process it without a problem. Now, if you're going to eat a milkshake before you go to bed, yeah, it's going to sit in your stomach. You don't want to do that. Your insulin level, your cortisol level is going to spike, and you're going to get fat. So we don't want to do that. Go leaner with meat. 3 ounces of salmon has 20 grams of protein and has more fat, whereas 6 ounces of cod has 30 grams of protein. More protein than salmon and way less fats, half the fats of salmon. People are always like, I don't understand why I'm going over on my fats. And I look and they eat salmon every day. I'm like, you got to cut the salmon out. Don't eat it every day, or don't eat as much of it. 3 ounces of a T-bone steak has 21 grams of protein, whereas 5 ounces of a flank steak has 39 grams of protein. You guys have the protein cheat sheets. You use them just to start getting educated in what you're doing, right? Right now we're eating, we don't know numbers of anything. Make sure you're choosing the right kind of cheeses. You don't necessarily have to go fat-free. I prefer you do not get anything fat-free. Fat-free made America obese in the 80s and 90s. Low fat's okay, low sugar's okay, no sugar but still has your fat is okay. Just keep an eye on what you're doing. Instead of doing like grain-loaded breakfast, maybe have like Kodiak pancakes, Kodiak oatmeal, because there's protein in there. Those are just brands that you can find in the supermarket. Almonds are amazing choice for proteins. 6 grams of protein for 1 ounce serving, like 23 almonds. Out of all your peanuts or all your nuts, almonds are the most protein enriched. Greek yogurt, obviously it's a probiotic food. It's good for you regardless, but Greek yogurt has more proteins in it than old yogurts. I don't even think they sell regular yogurt anymore. I feel like Greek is like the thing now. There might be regular, but keep an eye on that. And snack time could also be protein time. You guys can make protein cookies. I'll give you guys a recipe. You can make protein bread. Anything that has protein in it with carbs is okay because you're going to break down those carbs. Replace your plain starches with whole grains and legumes, quinoa, black beans, lentils, chickpeas. For bread, try to go with sprouted bread, like Ezekiel bread or David's Power bread. Those are just better for you. You're going to get more protein in it and your body will break it down faster. And at dessert, I do yasso bars. It's Greek yogurt, frozen ice cream. You get protein, you get a little bit of carbs, you get a little fats. I eat it every night before I go to bed, clockwork. Whether I want it or not, I just eat it. Just because I know it's in my log, because I put it in there every day, the day before. So those are things that are going to help you, all those tips and tricks, getting your protein in and everything. We have another meeting. It's probably going to be Saturday afternoon, probably around 3. I will confirm that 100%. But tomorrow night's the regular meeting and we're talking about emotional eating. And that's at 7:15 and you'll be with everybody else will be in there. And then the official start, the first meeting. So you guys are just going to be like bugs on a wall or flies on a wall tomorrow night if you show up. but the official starting meeting is next Wednesday. That's when I introduce you guys. We go around the room. Current tribe members will talk about where they've been, where they're going, what tips and tricks to help you guys. Saturday, we'll do Q&A. I have tons of Q&A questions that I'm going to go over that you guys might not have thought of. And you're like, oh yeah, that's a really good question. But for the next Tuesday, what's today? Monday? Tuesday, the meeting's not tomorrow night. Sorry, it's Wednesday night. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we are practicing. We are logging whatever we can, and then Coach Shannon's going to help you. Remember, you are never bothering me. I am here to help you. Please do not message me and say, I hate to bother you. You're not bothering me. I'm here for you to use me. But if you ask me a question that I've already covered in a welcome meeting or a macros 101 part 1 or part 2 meeting, I'm going to ask you, have you watched the meeting? I'm not going to give you the answer because there's so much information in these meetings that you have to watch them. The welcome, the meeting from last night, and the meeting from today. If it's in the ebook, I might say, have you read through the ebook yet? Have you looked at the tips and tricks that I've given you? All these things are resources to help you. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go. I know I told you I wasn't going to keep you on as long, and I apologize to you guys, but I really appreciate you coming on. I'm super excited. Everybody has their numbers. You're ready to rock and roll. If you are tracking in an app that I have incorrect, if I put you in MyFitnessPal and you're actually doing in-app or in-app and you're doing Fitbit or whatever, just look at it, tell me what's in there. If it's not right, message me and I'll just switch it over real quick. You just got to close out and open up again and you'll be fine. You'll be good to go. All right. Start thinking of questions. If you have any questions, I will add them to my list for Saturday. I hope you guys all have an amazing Monday night. I'll see you Wednesday night at the weekly meeting. We're talking about emotional eating. Otherwise, I will see you Saturday for Q&A. We start Real Deal next Monday. Thank you guys for all coming on. Remember, always be badass. And I'll see you guys. Have a good night.